Hi, I am going to talk about Professional Class 5. In this class, student learns how to create abstractions in their code by declaring functions. The student also learns to replace repetitive code with the for loop. Here, they will create the net in the middle of the playground they created in the previous class using a for loop. Also, they would get introduced to the usage of user-defined functions. They will have extra practice activities if time allows. They would also be assigned a project based on the concepts taught in the class. Moving over to the key activity of the class, in this class, they will learn and to understand functions, how to create functions, and they will be using the for loop and the line instructions to draw the net in the middle. They would also be identifying the requirements of the functions, the resetting the ball, and serve the ball. Once we have closed the quiz for the respective class, we may move over to explain the don't repeat yourself or the dry concept using the perfect lesson example in the lesson plan. Then we will move over to revise the code from by opening the code in the code.org. After the revisions, we will start by creating a line. So, to create a line, we will go over to the drawing section in the toolbox and move over to the line, and you may click and drag it to create the line. Before doing that, let us just challenge the student asking what a line is. A line basically connects 2 points, and if you could tell the computer which all are the 2 points, the computer would be able to draw lines connecting them. So, in here, the x1 and y1 would denote the starting point, and x2 and y2 will denote the ending point of the line. So you may click and drag it over here, and you will find a diagonal line created over there. Now you may change the x1, y1 and x2, y2 with multiple numbers so that the concept is clear to the student. Now challenge the student to create a straight line over in the middle of the canvas. For that, we will change the code like this. Now you have got a one single central line. Moving forward, we will make much smaller line so that we can draw multiple lines over to create the net in the middle. So now you have created one small line. You have to repeat this code multiple lines so that you can create many lines over in the middle. Now you can show the student how to draw a line or multiple lines using the same code and repeating the lines again and again so that you can create the net in the middle. The student should be able to identify the pattern that we are actually repeating the same code but changing the same pattern. So we should be able to identify that we are adding a specific number for each iteration. The number here is 20, and we add the same number to the 10 to the end of the last number, the y2. So we will be adding 20 every time to y1, and whatever is the y1 to the y1 we will be adding 10 every time. Once we have identified the pattern, now remind the student about the don't repeat yourself policy or the dry policy. So the programmers do not repeat themselves. So we use the loops. Go over to the controls and click and drag the 4 loops. You may ask the student to read through the explanation given over here so that he gets the concept right. And ensure that you have explained the initialization expression, the conditional expression, and the incrementing expression correctly. And the block of the statements are executed for each iteration. Basically, this is called a for loop because the code computer will keep on executing whatever is defined within the curly braces mentioned over here. Whatever is defined over here, it will keep on repeating until the termination condition is satisfied. So now you can explain this by clicking and dragging this over here and executing the line and changing the values over here. That way, the student will not get the concepts right, so I would suggest that you always repeat the code by deleting everything and writing the code fresh from the scratch over here. So that way, the students will get these parentheses, the semicolon in between the different expressions, and the parentheses or the curly brackets right. So that way, the student will get the concept of the for loop and the constructs of the for loop very clear. Once done, you may move over to the function creation part and explain the constructs well. The student may ask, why do we need functions? Show them all the pre-built functions that we have used so far and how they have made our lives easier. Similarly, it would be great if we could reuse the code for other games which requires a net in the middle. You may explain the syntax for the function creation. So you may click and drag this to the end of the code and give the function name as drawNet, and you can move your code inside. Once done, you will have to call your function over here. Now, ensure that the student understands the calling of the function very well. So you may do omit this and show them how omitting this will not make it work even though you have written the function over here. Make sure that you have explained the keywords and the constructs very well. For example, the function name, the parentheses, and the curly braces. And here also, 2 repetitions help. Once by clicking and dragging it, and second by writing the whole thing all by yourself. Now, you may challenge the student to identify other functions that could be repeatedly used in other games, like resetting the game or resetting the ball and also serving the ball, and help the student create the corresponding functions you need. Explain how a modularized code is very easy to understand and how a meaningful main function name could say much more than writing the code whole over into the same place. While writing the code, while the student writes the code, he may miss out on calling the function after declaring it. There are other few things that you would like to be aware of while the student writes the code. The student may write the code within the function draw, which would work as well. But you could explain that since we would like to reuse the code, we would like to write it beyond the function draw and the possibility that we may find a way to put all our reusable code in our one place and use them as needed just like our pre-built or built-in functions. Now, you may revise the learnings and submit the project and move over to the project section. Now, let me show you the after-class project. Here, the main goal is to create a row of pumpkin of grey color and keep 50 pixels of horizontal space from the nearest pumpkin. The student could add more rows of vegetables and maintaining the 50 pixels of horizontal space from all nearest vegetables. When that is also done, the student has to create 3 wells at the end of the field by removing some vegetables from the row. So let me open the project. What the student is expected to do here. The student could create multiple rows of vegetables. The colors are optional, but they could create multiple vegetables of multiple rows and the wells at the end. You could challenge the student to use his or her own creativity to create the garden of his or her choice. You may tell them that we could learn to have actual plants instead of the sprites in a few days, and a beautiful garden could be set out of the project that we are just creating. However, while trying to evaluate the understanding of the student to control the 4 loops by changing the different sections of the groups. While evaluating, keep in mind whether the student could get the concepts of the loops. Adding colors to different vegetables could earn extra points. Also, creating the vegetables in columns and wells as rows or vice versa could also be a check as to whether the student got the concept right. They could also create patterns in the garden with vegetables of different colors and place the wells as decorations as well. The correct usage of functions could be an added advantage, though the project does not require any meaningful function creation. I hope this video would add value to your sessions with students. Let me remind you once again, in order to deliver a great class, read the preparation document thoroughly. There are no shortcuts to actually coding the activities of the class and projects. This will give you great confidence in teaching this class. Please practice the activities and the after-class project. Remember, completing the LMS would actually help you earn certificates for yourselves too. All the very best for a wonderful session with the student.